In the dimly lit bayous of Louisiana, where mist curls through cypress trees and whispers ride the humid air, a legend has persisted through centuries, the Rougarou. This spectral creature, said to prowl the swamps under the light of a full moon, is both man and beast. Yet beyond the shadow of its glowing eyes lies a story deeply woven into the fabric of cultural history, theology, and human psychology. The Rougarou is not merely a monster of folklore, it is a mirror reflecting man's oldest fears and moral struggles. The Rougarou's origins trace back to medieval France, where tales of the loup-garou, the wolf man, were told to children as moral cautionary stories. The word itself comes from the old French loup for wolf and garou, meaning a man who turns beast. When French settlers arrived in southern Louisiana in the 18th century, they brought these tales with them, infusing them into the Cajun oral tradition. Over generations, the Rougarou evolved from the European werewolf myth into a distinctly Louisiana creation, one surrounded by swamps, faith, and folklore. The creature became an enforcer of social codes, a symbol warning against disobedience and sin. Parents used it to ensure their children observed Lent, whispering that those who failed might fall under the Rougarou's curse. Beyond its folkloric roots, the Rougarou embodies themes that reach into the core of human experience. Transformation, temptation, and consequence are central to its mythos. To become a Rougarou is said to be a curse for breaking one's word, engaging in witchcraft, or violating sacred vows. Yet, the curse is not eternal. It lasts 101 days and may be passed to another through blood. The Rougarou's condition reflects humanity's constant struggle between carnal nature and spiritual redemption. The legend serves as a parable on the fragility of virtue and the peril of succumbing to darker impulses. In this sense, the Rougarou aligns with many mythic creatures across cultures, from the Norse berserker to the Native American skinwalker. Stories of men becoming beasts echo a shared unease with the duality of human nature. The creature represents both the terror of the unknown and the fear within ourselves. Psychologists might interpret the Rougarou as a projection of suppressed instincts, aggression, lust, and rebellion cast into the swamp to be safely feared at a distance. Sociologists might see it as a moral instrument used by communities to enforce ethical order and cohesion through shared belief. The Rougarou persists in today's cultural zeitgeist, appearing in art, literature, and modern media. Festivals in Louisiana celebrate it, and storytellers keep the myth alive in podcasts and films. Its endurance reflects a modern fascination with the boundary between humanity and monstrosity, a fascination mirrored in global phenomena such as the popularity of werewolf fiction. In a world where technology blurs reality and identity, the Rougarou may symbolize the fear of losing what makes us human. Supporters of the Rougarou's folklore value it as an essential thread in Louisiana's cultural identity, a living story that keeps heritage alive. They argue that myths like the Rougarou serve moral, social, and psychological purposes far beyond mere entertainment. Critics, however, dismiss the legend as superstition, incompatible with modern reasoning. Yet such dismissal overlooks the enduring human need for myth. As Joseph Campbell wrote, "Myths are public dreams, dreams are private myths." The Rougarou, therefore, stands as a collective dream about the shadow side of humanity. From a Christian KJV perspective, the Rougarou can be viewed as an allegory of sin's transformation. The Apostle Paul wrote, "For the good that I would, I do not, but the evil which I would not, that I do." The Rougarou embodies that internal conflict, the fallen man torn between obedience to God and surrender to base instinct. Just as sin distorts the image of God in man, so the Rougarou legend depicts that distortion in visible form. The hope of redemption, found through repentance and grace, contrasts the beast's curse with divine mercy. The Rougarou's 101-day term, ending only through confession or transference, may even symbolize the cyclical nature of repentance and forgiveness in human life. Philosopher Jean-Paul Sartre once suggested that man is condemned to be free, responsible for his choices, even in the absence of divine command. Yet the Christian would counter that man is not condemned to freedom, but redeemed through faith. In this tension, the Rougarou becomes a living metaphor. Freedom without faith descends into chaos. Restraint without grace becomes tyranny. The beast and the believer meet in the same heart. In conclusion, the Rougarou is far more than a tale told to frighten. It is a vessel for cultural memory, theological symbolism, and existential reflection. Its shadow falls across the moral landscape of both past and present, whether viewed as a curse, a warning, or a reflection of inner struggle. The Rougarou reminds us that the line between man and monster is drawn not in fur and fang, but in the soul's allegiance to darkness or to light.